think most people listening would agree that we live in a fairly chaotic time. There's a lot of challenges going on in the world. A lot of the context of the support systems that we had when we were younger are moving away, and there's a lot of fear. I think we are fearful about the future sometimes. What lies ahead, and as you get a little older, I think you do have a heightened sense of responsibility for what might be going on in the world, and it's a difficult challenge. But I want to talk to you today about some ways that you can get around this, that you can be courageous and that you can be resilient in your as you're getting older and not have so much fear in your life. It causes so much stress that results in other health issues and lifestyle challenges. But I want to talk to you about fear and how we can move beyond it. Now, my name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I want to welcome you here today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoy this conversation. I think that it's one of these underlying themes that a lot of people are dealing with, and we're here for each other. That's what our 60andMe community is all about. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Now, our show today is brought to you by International Living. International Living is a company that focuses on retiring overseas. So, if you have any intention or desire to perhaps retire in another country, they have got people on the ground that actually write reports about the real world situation there. You can go up to their website, internationalliving.com/60andme, and they have new reports all the time that they offer to send you completely free of charge. Just give them your email address and then they'll send out the report, and you can learn more about retiring overseas. Okay, now this topic of fear. I mean, that's part of the challenge is that the world is so visible to us now, and it is so open that a lot of the information that we get on a regular basis through through online sources and other places is very immediate, and we have to move very quickly to adapt and to deal with change and have a resilient approach. So the article I'm going to refer to is by Pamela Reynolds, who's one of our bloggers, and she writes about fear and the fact that there's no need to live with it in our 60s, that we can find ways to put into context the things that are happening in the world. Now, part of the challenge, of course, is that we don't have the same infrastructure, the same support system that we might have had when we were younger. And that includes a lot of women, for example, who have been divorced. Now they're now living by themselves. We don't have that point of connection anymore with a partner. And also, you may have lost your husband, or there may be other circumstances that have created in your life attention. Now, Pamela talks about this and going back to childhood, which I think as we get older again is a lot of where we find the roots of our approach to things and to fear itself. And I think about as you're a child, I mean, you don't have many fears when you're little, but then you learn them. You learn fears of getting hurt, or fears of just the simple things as a toddler. And then you learn when you get to school to be fearful of authority, of teachers, of circumstances. Children in the playground can be incredibly difficult. Bullies, children that are louder and more forceful. And you suddenly get this association that you are somehow not as strong as the person that's getting control of the situation. And in fact, as you get into adulthood, you find this happening in the workplace. It's always the people that are the loudest, or this is historically how it's been, the pushiest, the more articulate. Those are the ones that get the prize. They get the prize. They get the rewards, and somehow you start to feel that you're not in that category. So things are changing, and I know in the dynamic of the workplace and so on. But I think that it's important to know that this is not something that just happens to you as you get older. You're cooling and you're building on people in the workplace, or at school or wherever, that have had that kind of power over you. So the thing is, since fear does actually consume or can consume a very large part of our life, we try to fit in. We try to blend in with the right words, the right actions. We want to please everybody. And this is one of the big things that we talk about as we get older, we can stop doing, trying to please everybody, because it is that fear of saying something or doing something, or, being misunderstood or misrepresented, that really causes a lot of fear and anxiety. So here's some of the things. I mean, you've got to have faith somehow and trust in people that are important to you. It's so easy to to blame the people that are closest to you for your own fears and your own challenges. But you've got to have faith and trust in the relationships that are important to you, and you've got to give them all the love and support that that you can, because everyone's going through this. This is not just you as an older person. Things happen to younger people as well. They get divorced, they have heartbreak, they have sadness, they have things that happen to them which cause a reason for fearfulness. So, we may worry, for example, about our, staying healthy. But look at all the young people that deal with health issues. It's not just because we're older. We have to actually think about that. And courageous living has got nothing to do with your unique situation as an older person. You've got to embrace and trust the people that are closest to you. It's just so important. They're there for you, and you've got to remember that. The second thing is that criticism is and judgment in other people causes stress in yourself. And you always tend to, you often tend to criticize in other people the things that you fear in yourself. So if you fear something in yourself, you'll often project that out to someone that that isn't, where it's not justified, it's not real, but but you feel like just blaming someone else for it or putting it out there is going to help you feel better. It doesn't. It makes you feel more fearful, because that fear in yourself doesn't go away when you blame someone else. You still have that, the reality of it. And actually, it was funny, I just picked up a card from our deck of cards. This is our Aging Beautifully deck of cards. Every day I pick one up because they're all topics like this that are interesting, but the one that I really love on this deck is Live Courageously. And it's such a great card because on the back is a paragraph talking about it. So if you can combine, looking at something like this to inspire you, it says, it takes courage to face an uncertain future. Be brave and boldly step into the unknown. You've got to do that in order to move, to get stronger. You've got to be bold and brave. And I know that's hard. And another thing that Pamela talks about is, when you're in a social situation, those can be some of the most fearful situations, that you don't want to talk in front of people, or you don't want to, be yourself in front of a group. But she says the thing that you've got to try to relearn, to learn, and that's part of the resilience muscle, is to relax. I know that sounds easier than that probably is. It's just let relaxing, let trust and love and kindness replace the fear. Remember, everybody is at that meeting or that event or whatever with the same uncertainties and fears. They don't want to be seen to be embarrassed or say something that is not, appropriate, or that they don't look right or sound right. They're fearful too. We're all going through these kind of little moments of fear, but it doesn't have to be. Just relax. I think the most important message that Pamela talks about here is don't let it consume your life. Don't let it own you. Fear of something that's never probably going to happen, or is going to happen further down the line than you think. You for example, might be afraid of your mortality. And you might think, oh, well, I'm 65 or 70 years old now. I've only got, this many years. It could happen tomorrow, happen today. It can happen in 20, 30 years, but you can't let it consume you. Yes, you have to think about it. Yes, you have to talk about it, and you have to deal with, your family and others, that you engage with every day. But don't let it consume your life, because it's worth the effort to have less stress, be able to get out there and enjoy life without being that, judgmental and fearful person. Disregard fear if you can by being strong and independent. You've been through things in your life that you never thought you would get through, and you did. All the things that you were worried and fearful about, did they happen? I mean, yes, okay, someone's going to say, yes, it did happen, and it was not a very good situation. But, you have to balance it out. Life is uncertain, and you have to follow that little instruction there and just be brave and be courageous. And it's not like waving a magic wand, but it starts with you being kind to yourself, being kind to others. So what do you think? Do you have things that you're particularly fearful of? Let's have a chat. Maybe leave your comments in the section below. What are the things that you are particularly concerned about, you're worried about? As maybe we can help each other, give some hugs and some conversation. And don't forget, by the way, to check out other videos on this topic. We've got lots of things about resilience, about courageous living, about just dealing with change as you get older, and also dealing with fear. Take very good care, everybody. Know that we're all in this together. That's why 60andMe exists. We're here to help women over 60 on this journey, and it's not easy, but it's fun. It's just great, and it's wonderful to have you all here with us. So take very good care, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk again very soon. Bye-bye for now.